From the tank on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet presents NCAA Division II women's basketball coverage live on the ECC network. Tonight's conference matchup features the College of Staten Island Dolphins taking on the Daemen University Wildcats. Good evening, everybody. My name is Joe Foreman, and welcome to the McDonald's pregame show. Of course, McDonald's is our scoreboard sponsor here at the College of Staten Island, and they, as always, are sponsoring our pregame coverage. Tonight's game, once again, features the Dolphins taking on the Wildcats in a matchup of two teams that have met just twice before. Those two games were both played last season and were both won by the Wildcats. The first meeting came in December of 2021. The Wildcats took the win in that game, played here at the tank by a final score of 76-59. Then in the second meeting between the two teams in January of last year, the Wildcats took the win 73-48. As you see on your screen, the Dolphins come in with a record of 5-8 overall in the season and are 1-2 against the East Coast Conference. The Wildcats come in 8-2 on the year with a 3-1 mark against the ECC. The last time we saw this Dolphins team in action was here at home back on New Year's Eve. And for the Dolphins in that game, they picked up the victory over Adelphi University by a final score of 68-60. The Dolphins trailed by as many as 8 points in the third quarter of that game, ended up winning the game by 8 points. Once again, the final in that one, 68-60. The Dolphins rode a late third quarter run to victory in that matchup. They forced 22 Panthers turnovers in that game, and that performance defensively for the Dolphins helped Jennalise Alarcon earn an East Coast Conference Defensive Player of the Week nod. She had a 16.9 rebound, 3 assist, and 3 steal performance in that game. Kaya Johnson added 14 points as well, and both Alarcon and Kaya Johnson were named TLC Physical Therapy Players of the Game. Following that victory, they were joined on the court by my colleague Nick Durst for an interview following that Dolphins win. Both very pleased with their team's performance, especially on the defensive end. As I mentioned, 22 points off of turnovers for the Dolphins in that game. That helped them overcome a poor performance on the glass. They were out-rebounded in that game, but the Dolphins were able to overcome that with their effort at the defensive end. As for Daemen, the Wildcats last played on Monday against St. Michael's, and they took the win in that game by 15 points. The final in that one, 63-48. As for the Dolphins, Jennalise Alarcon continues to lead them in scoring around 12 points per game on the season. She is scoring just shy of 12 per game. Ashley Lambert also averages double figures for the Dolphins at 10.5 points per game. On the other side, Paige Imborski is the lone double-digit scorer for Daemen, averaging just over 12 points per game on the year. As a team, the Wildcats are shooting below 40% from the field, but they have shot over 38% from beyond the three-point line. As for the Dolphins, they are shooting 41% from the floor on the season, but their three-point percentage on the year is now down around 33%. In CSI's last game, Lizzie LaFaro returned to the Dolphins lineup. She's averaging about 24 minutes per game this season. However, that number was impacted by a short stint on the floor in the Dolphins' last game. Despite limited playing time so far this year, LaFaro is shooting over 61% from beyond the arc, albeit on just 18 attempts from three-point range. She's shooting around 46% from the field on 54 shot attempts. So if the Dolphins can get LaFaro back into their lineup regularly and playing regular minutes, that should be a big boost for them offensively. LaFaro will not get the start tonight. Once again, she will be playing off of the bench. This is her second game back in a return from injury. I mentioned Jennalise Alarcon, the Dolphins' leading scorer. She is also CSI's leading rebounder by a wide margin with over 8 rebounds per game. Also returning to the Dolphins' lineup tonight is another one of their leading rebounders, Kyra Rose. She's averaging 6 rebounds per game on the season. She will be back in the Dolphins' lineup tonight, also playing off of the CSI bench. Freshman Dana Phelan in the starting lineup for the Dolphins tonight as well. She is joined by Kaya Johnson, Ashley Lambert, Jennalise Alarcon, and Gia Esposito in the Dolphins starting lineup. Esposito shooting under 30% from three-point range on the season to this point. She, of course, is looking to get that number up. Overall from the field, she's shooting just above 37%. So for Esposito, those shooting numbers uncharacteristically a bit low for her. She'll be looking to turn that around. As for the Wildcats, I mentioned at the top of our pregame show, they come in 3-1 against the East Coast Conference. They have victories over Malloy, a victory over Mercy, a victory over Queens, and a tough overtime loss against St. Thomas Aquinas College. They fell to the Spartans in overtime when they met against St. Thomas Aquinas. They fell by just a single point, 66-65 in that game. I mentioned Paige Amborski, the leading scorer for Daemen University. The second leading scorer is Alana Page, averaging just shy of 10 points per game. On the glass, they are led in rebounds by Natalie Angeletti. She is averaging just shy of 6 rebounds per game on the season. Really no one player on the Daemen roster that really stands out in terms of rebounding. I mentioned as well the team not shooting very well from the field, sub 40%. However, they have made up for it with their three-point shooting, 38% from downtown. And Borski is shooting 29 of 46 from three-point range on the year, 63% from beyond the arc, a very impressive number. And Borski will be in the starting lineup tonight, along with Natalie Angeletti, who I mentioned before, is the team's leading rebounder, Michaela Ivey, Caitlin Matz, and Alana Page, who I also mentioned. Page, the team's second leading scorer, also in the starting lineup for Daemen University this evening. Despite poor shooting as a team, they have several players who are shooting the ball very well from the field, particularly their top scorers, Borski, Page, and Angeletti, all shooting at least 44% from the field. And Borski, as I mentioned before, shooting 63% from downtown, 55% overall from the floor. Alana Page shooting just over 44%, and Natalie Angeletti shooting just over 51% from the field. So with that, we wrap up the McDonald's pregame show. We have about 35 seconds to go before the playing of the national anthem and introduction of starting lineups. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, Dolphins and Wildcats here on CSI Sportsnet.
For me, just kind of was the glue that kept my family together. I feel like, I don't know what it was that drew me in, but after I started playing for a while and started seeing some early success as a little kid, to see how much it meant to my parents to see me play the game and try to make a difference was really what fueled me to keep playing and stay competitive. Being a triple major is not necessarily easy, but at the same time, it is what you make it. Being a tighter-knit university, I have a lot of classes with the same professors, so they know me pretty well. I think it's that personal relationship that really helped me to thrive as a student. I was able to come here and get my triple major, as well as play a super high level of baseball against some of the best players in the country. There's a lot of options here in Division II with a lot of great ball players and a lot of great people, and they make sure that they give you every opportunity to succeed on and off the field.
Wayne State Medical School has been my dream medical school since I was 5. Athletics are important, but so is service, so is research, so is becoming a better person. And we expect you to do well athletically, but don't forget the reason you're here, which is to give back to your community and to get good grades. It was my sophomore indoor season. It was the first year with our new head coach. And he comes in and he's like, we could be a national contending team if you guys work hard. And I heard him and I was like, well, I want to be a national champion. I want to be an All-American. And I bought in because he bought into our team. And I qualified to go to indoor nationals. I decided I wanted it, so I went and grabbed it.
And we are back from the tank. Once again, this is Joe Foreman joining you from the College of Staten Island. I will be on the call solo this evening for tonight's NCAA Division II women's basketball matchup between the 5-8 College of Staten Island Dolphins and the 8-2 Daemen University Wildcats. Starting lineups are being introduced out on the floor, so once again, I will bring you those starting lineups first for the visiting Wildcats of Daemen University. In numerical order, the Wildcat starters are as follows. Number 3, Alana Page. Number 13, Caitlin Matz. Number 15, Michaela Ivey. Number 22, Paige Amborski. And number 24, Natalie Angeletti. The Wildcats are coached by Jennifer Banker in her 6th year. For the College of Staten Island, their starters in numerical order. Number 2, Ashley Lambert. Number 4, Kaya Johnson. Number 10, Dana Phelan. Number 13, Jenelise Alarcon. And number 24, Gia Esposito. The Dolphins are coached by Nicole Sarcone in her 5th year at the helm for the College of Staten Island. And for the Dolphins, this is their first conference game in quite some time. The Dolphins opened conference play back in late November, taking on Mercy College. They picked up the win in that game back on November 30th. They then fell to St. Thomas Aquinas College and to the University of the District of Columbia in early December. This, for the Dolphins, is their first conference matchup in an even month. Their last game against the conference opponent came back on Tuesday, December 6th against UDC. As for the Wildcats, I mentioned they are 3-1 against the conference on the season. Their lone defeat came at the hands of St. Thomas Aquinas College. 3 victories in conference play coming over Mercy, Malloy, and Queens. For the Wildcats, their last conference game was back on December 11th against Mercy. That was a 78-62 victory. Jumping for the Dolphins will be Jenelise Alarcon on the other side. Michaela Ivey is waiting for her in the circle at center court as we are set to get underway from the tank. Dolphins and Wildcats on CSI Sportsnet. And we are underway from the tank. Tip goes to the Dolphins as they will possess first in the opening quarter. Kaya Johnson has it for CSI. She swings it over to Alarcon, who will take it to the left wing. Lambert back out to Alarcon. 12 on the shot clock as Alarcon floats one up and draws a foul. Alarcon will head to the line for 2 shots to get things started. Dolphins, as a team, come in shooting just 63% from the line. They average about 11.5 free throw attempts per game as Alarcon goes 2 of 2 from the stripe. Dolphins out to an early 2-0 lead. This is Paige up top for Matz. She picks up her dribble and sends it back outside. Angeletti feeds it into Ivy. Working against Phelan. She spins. Her left-handed hook is short. And the rebound was tipped out by Angeletti. The floater by Paige, no good. And that's a very dangerous play as Phelan was lucky. She didn't come away injured on that one. Another foul goes against the Wildcats as Phelan was taken out from down low. And she appears okay as she inbounds to Kaya Johnson. Johnson surveys the floor with 20 on the shot clock. Now Lambert. Lambert thought about a 3 and gives it back up to Johnson. Esposito, top of the arc, uses the Alarcon screen. Finds Jenelise on the cut, and she is rejected by Michaela Ivey. 8 on the shot clock. As the Dolphins will inbound from the baseline. This is Esposito. 5 to shoot. Phelan for 3. No good. And the rebound goes out to Amborski. Outlet pass up ahead to a wide open Angeletti, who lays it in for the first 2 Wildcat points. Score knotted up at 2 as we approach 1.5 minutes gone by in the opening quarter. Esposito thought about a 3. Lambert won't think much, and that rattles out. Fight for the rebound underneath, and it was knocked out of bounds by Matz, who went down to the floor. And possession will belong to the Dolphins. Lambert will inbound from the baseline. She finds Alarcon. This is Kaya Johnson using the Alarcon screen. Now Lambert. She looks to drive. And she is rejected by Ivy. 2 early blocks for Ivy as that ball last touched Lambert. And the Wildcats will inbound, following a pair of rejections the last couple of trips down the floor. By the 5'10 forward, Michaela Ivy. She now looks to score at the offensive end, and she was fouled. Ivy making an impact early in this game with a couple of blocks, now gets to the line for 2 shots.
Dolphins foul number 13, Genovese Alarcon, her first.
Ivy on the season came in with just 5 blocks. She already has 2. And she now has her first point of the night. One more from the line for Ivy, and she makes it a 2 of 2 trip to the stripe. 8 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Wildcats lead at 4-2. Alarcon has it on the outside. And a miscommunication between Alarcon and Esposito. As Esposito looked to cut, and Alarcon looked to send it into the corner. Dolphins turn it over. This is Ivy once again. Defended by Johnson. She had a mismatch there. Left wide open was Angeletti. She can't connect from the mid-range, and Johnson has the rebound. Dolphins push it up the floor quickly. This is Esposito, back out to Johnson. Phelan in the corner, back up top to Johnson once again. Lambert will try a 3, no good. And Phelan pulls in the rebound along the baseline. Nice job to keep the ball in there. Esposito kicks out to an open Alarcon. She tries the 3, and she banks it in.
Genovese Alarcon for 3.
Alarcon will take it. On the season, she came in just 3 of 14 from downtown. That 3 gives the Dolphins a 1-point lead. This is Ivy working against Alarcon, and she lays it in. Nice move there by Ivy on the step through. And the Wildcats are back in front by 1. Phelan will try a 3. Splash.
Daemen for 3.
Phelan from downtown comes in just a 29% three-point shooter. As there's an easy 2 for Natalie Angeletti. And I thought we may have had a timeout for a moment. Instead, just a substitution. Noemi Masinge will check in for the Dolphins. Masinge gets her first action of the night. Johnson will bring it up. Dolphins and Wildcats even at 8. That attempt inside, no good, and rebounded by Angeletti. Feed inside to Ivy. Quick bounce pass into the corner for an open Matz, but her three-pointer is way off. Johnson brings it back up the other way. Masinge wants it. Back to the basket, gives it right back to Johnson. 15 to shoot as Lambert's open for 3. Off the back iron and rebounded by Ivy. And that's too easy as Caitlin Matz takes it all the way to the basket for 2 points. You know, the Dolphins bench didn't like that. Matz dribbled the entire length of the floor. as Johnson nearly lost it. 15 on the shot clock. Esposito will try a three. Splash.
Esposito for three.
Dolphins back in front by one. Just inside of 5 minutes officially remaining in this first quarter as that three is off the mark. Rebound tipped out and pulled in by Johnson. Johnson will slow things down, waits for her teammates. Esposito will try another. No good. And it will be Wildcats basketball on the other side of this media timeout. 4:38 to play in the opening quarter. The Dolphins lead Daemen University by one. Our score, Staten Island 11 and Daemen 10.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
And we are back from the tank where the Dolphins lead Daemen University by one. Our score, Staten Island 11 and Daemen 10, with just inside of 5 minutes to play in the opening quarter. As for the Wildcats, they're off to a 4 of 9 shooting start, still yet to hit their first three-pointer. On the other side, the Dolphins are only 3 of 11 from the field, but all 3 of their made baskets have come from three-point range. They're 3 of 8 from downtown thus far. 3 different players have connected on a 3 for Staten Island as well. Dana Phelan, 1 of 2. Jenelise Alarcon, 1 of 1. And Gia Esposito, 1 of 2 from three-point range early in this game. Coming out of the media timeout, the Wildcats have it, trailing by just 1. It was a pair of decisive victories for Daemen last year over CSI. Lizzie LaFaro and Brianna Moore check in for the Dolphins. Both of them in the game for the first time as Paige Emborski knocks down another 3. And that's only Emborski's first 3 of the game, but I mentioned it during the pregame. She is shooting an incredible 63% from downtown entering tonight's game. LaFaro's pass stolen there by Alana Page. She goes right at Masinge, who was whistled for the foul. Speaking of lights out three-point shooting, as I mentioned during the pregame, Lizzie LaFaro comes in, shooting over 61% from downtown. At the line for Daemen, Alana Page, her first free throw no good. Page comes in, an 82.5% free throw shooter, and she goes 1 of 2 from the line. 3:52 remaining in the opening quarter. Johnson's pull-up is good.
Kaya Johnson for 2.
That ties the score at 13. I incorrectly had 14 up on the scoreboard for the Wildcats as that's rattled in by Michaela Ivey. That gives Daemen the lead. We are still operating our broadcast scoreboard by hand. Our Sportscast scoreboard device has not worked all season. I was on the phone with them ahead of tonight's game to no avail. We'll try again ahead of the games next weekend. Definitely won't be able to take care of it ahead of Sunday's game. 4 to shoot as Kaya Johnson tries a rare three-pointer. Rebound goes to Page. Page looks to drive, floats one up and in off the window.
Alana Page for 2.
Alana Page with 2 more. She now has 9, or check that. That's 9 minutes, now has 3 points. I knew that didn't seem right. Michaela Ivey, the leading scorer for the Wildcats. She has 6. Dolphins now trail by 4 as Brianna Moore can't get that left-handed shot to go. 4 points, the largest lead of the game for either team. Claire Pickett in the game for Daemen. She came in off the bench as that shot is no good by Matz. It was knocked out of bounds by the Dolphins, and Daemen will maintain possession. Dolphins played their last game with just 8 healthy bodies. Tonight they have 10. Last game they didn't have Amaya Jenkins, didn't have Kyra Rose. Both are on the bench tonight. As Matz tries again, and she drew a foul, so Matz will head to the line for 2 shots.
Dolphins foul number 4, Kaya Johnson, her first, team's third.
Third team foul against Staten Island. Wildcats 3 of 4 from the line thus far. The Dolphins perfect 2 of 2. First free throw is good. Matt's on the year, a 64% free throw shooter. And she goes 2 of 2 from the line as we'll have a couple of substitutions checking in. Gabby McDuffie among them, joined by Alina Estrella. Just over 2 minutes to play in the opening quarter. The Dolphins now trail by 6. LaFaro on the right wing. Sends it up top to Masinge. Now Johnson with 15 on the shot clock. Alarcon wanted it on a post-up. And that pass is tipped and stolen. Page once again in the passing lane, and she lays it in for 2 more. Timeout, Dolphins. As another CSI turnover prompts a timeout from Nicole Sarcone. And here's a look once again at what prompted that timeout. Not a good pass there from Esposito. She telegraphed it. And Alana Page lays it in for an easy deuce. Page now has 5. Ivy has 6. They lead the Wildcats in scoring. On the other side, Alarcon leads the Dolphins with 5. And with this being just a 30-second timeout, we will stay right here. Dolphins shooting just 4 of 14 in the opening quarter, sub 30%. The Wildcats up above 57% at 8 of 14 from the field. The inbound goes to Kaya Johnson, just over a minute and a half to play. In quarter number 1, she gets a screen from Masinge. Hard screen set by Noemia there as Esposito lost it and took it back. Esposito to the rim, can't finish with the left hand, but a foul was called underneath. That foul call came after the missed shot. Both teams with just 3 fouls in this opening quarter. Looks like each side will steer clear of a bonus situation in quarter number 1. LaFaro looks to inbound, gets it up top to Masinge. Big crossover by Masinge, floater, no good off the backboard now. Here comes Page back the other way, and that's a great pass by Page, finding a wide open Michaela Ivy for 2. And the Dolphins now trail by 10. Page now with 5 points, 2 steals, and an assist in the opening quarter. It's been a great start for her as a foul was called against the Wildcats on the outside. Estrella didn't like the call. Dolphins inbound with 20 on the shot clock. Under a minute to play in the opening quarter. Esposito out to Jenkins, and offensive foul is the call. That's another Dolphins turnover. Ball up top with Ivy. Sends it back out to Page, inside of 20 to shoot. Ivy left open, can't connect from the mid-range, and the rebound was tipped away and retained by the Wildcats. Good effort there by Estrella on the glass. Daemen probably could hold for the last shot with a 3-second differential between shot and game clock. Instead, they'll try a corner three. No good. Dolphins have 8 seconds. Here comes LaFaro. Ivy chasing her down from behind, rejects another shot, and that's knocked out of bounds with 3.3 remaining in the opening quarter. Another rejection for Michaela Ivy. She has been everywhere at the defensive end of the floor. Dolphins inbound, and it's knocked away once again. 2 seconds remaining on the clock. The Wildcats are giving the Dolphins fits right now with their stifling defense around the rim. Masinghe had no idea how much time was left, and that is the end of the first quarter. Dolphins had a lead in this quarter, but the Wildcats end the period on a 13-2 run. They lead 23-13 after one.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
And we are back from the College of Staten Island, where the Dolphins trail by 10 after the opening quarter. The Dolphins led this game 11-10, but after that, it was a 13-2 run for Daemen University to surge ahead by 10 points. The Dolphins shot it very poorly in the opening quarter, just 4 of 17. The Wildcats, 9 of 17, and that really tells most of the story. However, turnovers favored the Wildcats 5-1 in quarter number one. The Dolphins gave it away 5 times, and I'm trying to find the points off of turnovers. Once I have that, I'll share it. Only 3 points off of turnovers for Daemen in that opening quarter, but the Dolphins were a bit reckless with their passing, and we saw that late at the end of the quarter especially, particularly on that steal by Alana Page on the opposite side of the floor. Left wing relative to me, but Page took it all the way to the basket for an easy 2, and that's something the Dolphins can't afford the rest of the way, as CSI forces an early turnover in the second quarter, and Alarcon nearly committed a backcourt violation there. That was awfully close. CSI has it with 20 to shoot. Jenkins thought about a 3. Now Masinghe. Esposito will try, and that rattles out. Rebound goes to McDuffie. McDuffie back the other way. Her team leading by 10. Ivy goes to work against Alarcon. 3-pointer in the corner, no good. That was Alina Estrella, who continues to fight and has another offensive board. Ivy into the corner for Page. She will try a 3. No good. Rebound goes to Alarcon. Esposito will slow it down. She surveys the floor as she receives the screen. Gives it up to Alarcon. Dolphins going nowhere right now. And Lambert will try a 3, no good. Rebound grabbed by McDuffie, and Esposito may have rolled the ankle. That will prompt a whistle, and play will stop here. And with that, we will take a quick break, timeout on the floor, as Allison Ocasio, the head athletic trainer, will attend to Gia Esposito.
Cobra, a taco joint, Staten Island.
but we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dine-in order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island. And we are back from the tank where Gia Esposito was just helped off of the floor. Certainly appears to be a sprained ankle. In all likelihood, her night is probably done. We'll see if she tries to will herself back into the game. 3 to shoot for the Dolphins, and they turn it over once again. Another long outlet pass right on the money, and that attempt is rejected by Jenkins. Dolphins have had their share of shots blocked, and Jenkins adds a block to the CSI stat line. As Alarcon drew a foul on the pass there. That will stop play with 7:47 on the clock. Dolphins will inbound from in front of the Daemen bench. And Kyra Rose is headed to the scorer's table, ready to check in for the first time tonight. This is Johnson on the drive. Tough shot, no good. Moore grabbed the offensive rebound. Her attempt was not close. And here come the Wildcats back the other way. And Borski looked to go with Johnson. Thought about a three. Instead, Ivy has it. Back out to an open Borski from downtown. And that's good.
Paige and Borski for 3.
If I'm not mistaken, and Borski did this in the game last year as well. Just lit the Dolphins up from downtown. I'll have to double check. But if I'm not mistaken, it was a very similar script last year for Borski against this Dolphins team. This is Moore up top to Lambert. Now Jenkins. Back to Lambert. Lambert thought about a three. She's given no space by Matz. Jenkins will try the floater, and she buries it.
Amaya Jenkins for 2.
Now the Wildcats look to push quickly, but the Dolphins could not corral the loose ball. And Daemen will get a second chance. Officially 6:36 on the clock in the opening quarter. That shot no good. Well, it wasn't Borski who lit up the Dolphins last year. It was Katie Titus who really gave the Dolphins problems from downtown. Shot 12 of 22 overall in the game, including 5 threes. That was in the second meeting between these two teams last year. Of course, Titus no longer on the roster. But that was a big storyline coming out of the meeting between these two sides last year. The most recent game, that is, back on January 28th of 2022. Cross-court pass for Paige, who looks to drive, and a kick out to a wide-open Borski, and she knocks down another three.
Paige and Borski for 3.
In the first meeting, Caitlin Matz hit 5 of 11 threes. That game was played here at the tank, and Borski well on her way to 5 threes in this game, as Alarcon's hook shot is no good off the back rim and out. And Borski in this game officially has been credited with 2 threes. Now, I'm not mistaken, it should be 3. But we'll double check that at the half as Johnson sees her jump shot rattle out. The Dolphins have gone ice cold from the field here. 5 minutes remaining in the first half, and the Dolphins are in danger of seeing this game get away. And Wildcats nearly got that bounce on the shot by Page. This is Rose on the drive, and she draws a foul. Mass substitution coming on for the Dolphins, but we're going to have a media timeout first. So with 4:45 remaining in the first half, the Dolphins trail by 16 when we come back. The conclusion of the first half in this NCAA Division II women's basketball matchup.
Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
And we are back from the tank where the Dolphins have really begun to struggle offensively. They shot 4 of 17 in the first quarter, just 1 of 7 from the field thus far here in the second quarter. And CSI has only scored 2 points here in quarter number 2. They hope to turn things around, beginning with this trip to the line for Kyra Rose. Rose looking for her first points of the evening. And she won't get it there. Second free throw, no good. So an 0 of 2 trip from the line for Rose. And that's not what the Dolphins needed there, as you can ignore the timeout graphic flashing across the bottom of the screen. Just making sure I have the timeout tally correct from earlier in the game. Three-pointer by Emborski is short. That's her first attempt from beyond the arc that hasn't been wide open. Dolphins really haven't closed much on her previous tries from distance. That's officially her second miss from downtown. I was certain she had three-pointers made in this game, but I could have been mistaken. 5 to shoot as LaFaro looks to drive and can't get the bank shot to go. Whistle underneath and a foul is called. That foul goes against the Dolphins. Daemen leads CSI by 16 points. Dolphins haven't played poorly at the defensive end, but they have really struggled at the offensive end. They've been better defensively here in the second, with the exception of defending the three-point line, as once again they force a tough shot inside. And Phelan was fouled as she looked to bring it across half court. Jenkins, big crossover, and she had it poked away. Page to the rim, and her layup will go as she gets the friendly roll. 2 more for Alana Page. She now has 7. That's her third steal. Dolphins now trail by 18 points. As Rose will try, And she draws the foul. Just over 3 minutes remaining in this second quarter, and the Dolphins need a big 3 minutes here. They can't afford to see this deficit grow anymore. They trailed in their New Year's Eve game last Saturday against the Delphi by 8 in the third. We're able to come back, and we'll need another come-from-behind effort here today as they go for their second straight win. Rose finally ends the CSI scoring drought. That's their first basket in nearly 4 minutes. Rose goes 2 of 2 from the line. Dolphins with just one made field goal in the quarter as they force another turnover. That's exactly what the Dolphins needed. A couple of made free throws, a quick turnover, and we'll see if they can work their way back into this thing. Turnovers have been an issue. The Daemen defense has been as good, if not better, than the CSI defense in this game. This is Jenkins with 10 on the shot clock. Her floater off the front rim, no good. And the rebound fought for and knocked out of bounds by Masinge. Will be Wildcats basketball. Another good effort on the glass. These two teams have played with a lot of energy tonight. Have to like what you've seen in terms of the effort if you're the coach of either of these teams. Double team of McDuffie. She got it away. That pass nearly went through the hands of Shyla Montgomery. 12 to shoot. McDuffie looks to drive baseline. Stops, spins, can't get the shot to go. 2 minutes remaining in the quarter. Dolphins trail by 16. This is LaFaro. LaFaro back to the basket. Sends it out to Rose. Rose will use the screen, and that's an offensive foul. No doubt about that one. That's the right call. Substitutions coming on for the Wildcats. Looks like they're going to get some starters back in. Caitlin Matz into the game. Natalie Angeletti in the game. Lone bench player on the floor is Estrella. That shot no good. Another attempted step-through move by Michaela Ivey. This is LaFaro. Inside of a minute and a half to go in half number one. Jenkins. Back out to Phelan. Phelan for LaFaro. LaFaro to the rim. No good. We approach 1 minute remaining in the second quarter. Dolphins with just 4 points here in quarter number 2. This is Matz. She'll use the screen from Angeletti. Good defense by Jenkins. Ivy, too strong. Rebound goes to Jenkins. Dolphins can go 2 for 1 if they hurry. Jenkins over to LaFaro. Now Phelan. Out to Jenkins. Dolphins have really struggled to find openings at the offensive end. This is Rose to the rim, and she's fouled. Dolphins failed to go 2 for 1, but they earn a trip to the line. Rose will attempt free throws 5 and 6 here. This is her third trip to the line.
Wildcats foul number 15, Michaela Ivey, her second, team's fifth.
That is the 15th foul for the Wildcats, but that shouldn't matter with inside of 30 seconds to play here in the second quarter. First free throw by Rose is good. We do expect to be joined by a member of the Dolphins coaching staff at the conclusion of the half. I'll step aside quickly for about a minute or so as we get our backdrop set up, and we'll see who they send our way. as we have an offensive foul. So Dolphins with a chance here to make this an 11 or a 12-point game. .16 seconds remaining in the quarter. Eight seconds as Jenkins is still well beyond the arc. 4 seconds remaining. Jenkins to the rim. Floater is good. Amaya Jenkins with a big 2 points to bring the first half to a close. We'll get one more look at that last make before we head to break, and I will leave you with a replay of that final shot of the quarter as Jenkins makes it a 12-point game. The Dolphins will trail 33-21 at the halftime break. We are joined on the court by CSI women's basketball head coach Nicole Sarcone. Nicole, first quarter, back in fourth quarter early on. What do you have to get back to that you saw from early in the first?
Yeah, I think the first couple of possessions show we were running our sets, we were running our motion decisively, and they were getting tripped up on defense, and we were getting good looks. We weren't necessarily knocking them down, but we were getting the looks we wanted as a group. And then we kind of got away from that. Also, our transition defense started to fall, and they got quick buckets. So we have to get back on defense and offensively stick to what we know as a group.
Second quarter didn't go as well. You shot poorly from the field. The turnover situation was better. You cleaned that up. What needs to be cleaned up heading into the second half to get back on track offensively?
Once again, our offense has to be cleaned up. We have to set better screens. We have to be on the same page. And I think when we get down the lane, we have to take and absorb their contact and keep going. They're good defenders. They're getting down the lane with us a little bit, and then we're stopping our drive. So we got to get to the rim. We got to draw fouls, and we got to knock down open shots.
Nice sneaker choice, Lewis. If you want to pan down quickly and get a look. I like the choice of sneakers. Glad I can make you smile before the half. Women's basketball head coach Nicole Sarcone joins us. Nick, I'll turn it back to you over at the commentary desk. Nick Bavona, our engineer tonight. So I thank him for that. This has been coverage of NCAA Division II women's basketball. Dolphins and Wildcats at the half with Daemen leading 33-21.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
Hi, Meals on Wheels. I'm Marco. I'm a college student, and I volunteer as a driver for Meals on Wheels. I think it's awesome meeting these people. I mean, they're so interesting. They've had so many wonderful experiences in life. Your community helps to raise you up into the person that you become. Meals on Wheels is a great way to give back to that community.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials, live music, and the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
And we are back from the College of Staten Island with the Dolphins trail by 12 at the start of the third quarter. But for CSI, they did put together a bit of a run late in quarter number 2 to make this game just a bit closer. Their deficit is 12 at the start of the second half, and that pass is tipped away and knocked out of bounds by the Wildcats. It remains Dolphins basketball. Taking a look at some first half numbers, double-digit turnovers for the Dolphins. 10 turnovers in the first half. They also shot just 6 of 28 from the floor, 3 of 11 from downtown. So you know they would like to improve those shooting numbers. However, their defense in the second quarter was much better than it was in the first, specifically late in that quarter. As an offensive foul is called against the Dolphins there. But in quarter number 1, the Wildcats shot 9 of 17, 53%. In the second quarter, they shot just 4 of 14, 28%. So the Dolphins defensively with a much stronger effort in quarter number 2. They look to continue that here in the second half. The Wildcats hope to return to their first quarter shooting form, and that's a good start for Michaela Ivey, who's had a very nice game tonight at both ends of the floor. Has gotten it done both offensively and defensively. She now has 2 more. Her team back ahead by 14. That May Bask gives Ivy 8 for the game, and Noemi Masinge can't connect on that 3. Alarcon with the rebound. Left-handed running hook is good. Nice move by Alarcon, who leads the Dolphins in scoring with 7. Alarcon has attempted just 4 shots. As Johnson comes away with that one, Alarcon looking for 2 more, can't get the layup to go. And we'll head back the other way as Dolphins bench can't believe that last call. We might be able to slow it down quickly at the next stoppage. But it is Daemen basketball. Their lead back at 12. And Borski in the corner. Ivy up top. This is Matz. Wants somewhere to go with it. Gets it inside. And Angeletti was nearly stripped as we have a traveling call in the corner against Page. And while we have a brief moment, we'll take a quick look at that last call here. Tough to see much there, but Dolphins certainly thought they should have been awarded possession. Nonetheless, they get it back without having surrendered a basket. This is Alarcon working against Angeletti. Kicks it back outside. Masinge, pull-up jumper. No good. Johnson with the rebound, and she banks it in. Dolphins back to within 10. This building beginning to get a bit louder as the CSI cheerleaders are offering chants of defense. We have a foul call on the inside. It goes against the Dolphins. That already the second CSI team foul. Inbound goes to Mborski well beyond the arc. 15 to shoot. Matz inside. Angeletti. She posts up Alarcon, fakes, and travels. Not a good start to the quarter for the Wildcats. A couple of sloppy plays right there, a travel. They've now turned it over twice in the quarter. Dolphins can pull back to within single digits here. Lambert for Phelan. She had an open look, steps back, and can't connect on the three. Phelan had a good look at it off the catch. Instead decided to step back. Once again, a good look, but perhaps not of the same quality as a catch-and-shoot opportunity. This is Mborski defended by Alarcon. Now Phelan picks her up. Ivy with 10 on the shot clock, had it poked away. 2 Dolphins down to the floor. Mborski open for 3, no good. And Johnson has the rebound. Dolphins caught a break right there. Mborski has not missed many of those. This is Johnson. Over to Phelan, who thought about a 3. Now Alarcon. Goes at Angeletti. Pivots, steps through, and can't get the layup to go. The Dolphins bench cannot believe there wasn't a foul call there. Play continues. 10-point game. Dolphins have allowed just 2 points through nearly 4 minutes in this third quarter, and they force yet another turnover. The third of the quarter for the Wildcats. Here comes Johnson to the rim, and she draws the blocking foul. We'll see if that sends Johnson to the line. And they are going to award Kaya 2 shots here. Phelan heads to the bench. Lizzie LaFaro checks in.
Alana Page, her third, team's first.
First free throw by Johnson, no good. With that miss, the Dolphins now 6 of 9 from the line. Wildcats 5 of 6. And Johnson goes 1 of 2 to make this a single-digit deficit. Dolphins now trail by 9. Kyra Rose into the game for Staten Island. She replaces Noemi Masinge. Gia Esposito turned her ankle in the first half. Has not played here in the second half, and it appears her night is done, as I suspected earlier. And just as I say that, Gia is headed to the scorer's table, so perhaps they heard me over at the Dolphins bench. And Esposito is going to try and give it a go on that ankle. And Ivy was fouled with just 5 on the shot clock. Esposito into the game for Staten Island. Marina Merkel into the game for the Wildcats. This is Ivy left open. Instead gave it up. She had a good look there. 12 to shoot. Estrella well beyond the arc here. Working against Alarcon, gives it up to Ivy. Ivy is fouled. So Michaela Ivy will head back to the line. She's connected on her 2 free throw attempts in this game. Wildcats really needed that. Dolphins had momentum on their side. And the first free throw is good. Lead back to 10 for Daemen. Second free throw also good. Wildcats ahead by 11. Johnson will bring it up. She uses the Alarcon screen. Rose also set a screen there. Rose will look to attack. She takes it inside. No call as Rose went down to the floor. Wildcats with a chance to extend their lead back to 13 or 14 points here. Once again, the Daemen defense coming through, even as their offense has sputtered a bit since the opening quarter. And Merkel's shot won't go. Second try is good. The lead right back to 13. Now the Dolphins are in need of a basket. This is LaFaro. Over to Alarcon. Now Johnson. Esposito, top of the arc. 8 to shoot. LaFaro wanted a screen, doesn't get it. Finds the cutting Rose. Count it! And one! Big basket for Kyra Rose. One that the Dolphins desperately needed. And Rose will head to the line for one more. Here's a second look at that make by Rose as we'll head to a media timeout. Our score, Daemen University 39, Staten Island 28. When we come back from this break, Rose heads to the line for one shot.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Where the Dolphins have pulled to within 11. My microphone was up above my head during the break, but we're back. Dolphins are back to within 11 points. Chance to make it a 10-point game from the line. As Kyra Rose will have one shot upcoming here. 4:18 remaining in the third quarter. And Rose misses another free throw. Hasn't been a great night from the line for Rose, just 4 of 7. Ivy. Wanted Merkel, it was tipped away. And we'll stay right here. Next 4 minutes, 4 big minutes for the Dolphins. Ideally, they would like to get within single digits before the start of the fourth, and if you're the Wildcats, and you can keep your lead right where it was at the break, I think you'll certainly take it. 15 on the shot clock after the Dolphins inbound it. Check that, the Wildcats inbounding. A lot of traffic there around McDuffie, and she draws the foul. Back to the line for Daemen. Dolphins already over the limit with 4 minutes to play in the quarter. And the Wildcats have done a good job capitalizing from the line. They're now 8 of 9 from the stripe in this game. Dolphins 7 of 11. Daemen now 9 of 10 on their free throws. Their lead right back to 13. Jenkins double teamed, and possession will stay with the Dolphins. That was a dangerous spot there for Jenkins. She inbounds to LaFaro. 20 on the shot clock. And a whistle for a foul away from the ball. Third team foul against the Wildcats. Shot clock resets to 20. Alarcon hands off to Esposito. Esposito not showing any ill effects on that ankle. And she wanted Jenkins. Dangerous pass. It's stripped away and stolen by McDuffie. Dolphins really having a tough time getting anything going offensively. Their best bet has been to attack the rim. They've been given no room on the perimeter. Ivy into the corner. McDuffie defended nicely by Jenkins. 8 to shoot. McDuffie inside to Merkel, and that's an easy 2. Great feed there by Gabby McDuffie. Nice job to maintain her composure through some tight defense from Jenkins. Dolphins now behind by 15 once again. This is LaFaro, wild shot, and she draws a foul. Brianna Moore will check in for the Dolphins here. Kyra Rose heads to the bench.
Her second, team's fourth.
Faro's free throw no good, and Dolphins now 7 of 12 from the line. And LaFaro goes 0 of 2, and that's a dangerous play. And that will send the Wildcats to the line. Here's another look. Looked like LaFaro, in an attempt to break her fall, got tangled up there and got tangled up with Ivy. Some aspiring officials didn't like that one, but I'm not sure how that call could have went any other way. There's no doubt about that one. We have another missed free throw at this end of the floor. Wildcats have been good from the line. Dolphins not so much. And it's an 0 of 2 trip to the stripe there for Ivy. This is Jenkins on the wing. Steps back. Thought about the three, and she thought a bit too long. Jenkins was open. 12 to shoot. Masinghe for Esposito. Pull-up jumper. That's good.
Gia Aquino for 2.
Dolphins back to within 13. Just over 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Dolphins made a run to end the second, looking for one to end the third. Merkel inside for Ivy. That was a good look. Ivy wasn't ready for it, and she saves it as she dives into the front row of the stands. Good effort there by Ivy as Merkel couldn't connect there. Now, that shot didn't hit the rim, so that will be a shot clock violation. That was awfully close, as we'll get a quick look. And you caught just the tail end of it. Had to wind that back a bit more, but nonetheless, shot clock violation. Dolphins ball with 1:30 to play here in the third quarter. Dolphins will probably get 2 more possessions in this quarter, and those are going to be a couple of big possessions. As we have a foul called, and LaFaro will head back to the line. Both teams are now in the penalty. And LaFaro misses another free throw. And LaFaro hits the second. 12-point game once again. Just over 1:20 to play in this third quarter. LaFaro comes in just a 64% free throw shooter. Has missed 3 of her 4 attempts from the line. 15 on the shot clock for the Wildcats. Ivy kicks out. And Estrella traveled. Ashley Lambert into the game for CSI. LaFaro to the bench. 1 minute to play in the third. And Johnson lost it. It's recovered by Merkel, and she gets it up ahead to a teammate. Here comes Estrella. Estrella for McDuffie. The Wildcats can go 2 for 1. McDuffie for Ivy. Back out. And Borski feeds it inside. Merkel for Ivy. Ivy off the window, no good. And the rebound is pulled in by Estrella. About an 8-second differential between shot and game clock. 10 to shoot. Estrella, pull-up jumper. And that's good. The lead back to 14. Under 10 seconds to play in the quarter. Esposito steps back and is short on the jumper. Merkel has the rebound, and that will do it for the third quarter. Our score after 3, Daemen University 45, the College of Staten Island 31. Do the Dolphins have another comeback in them, or will the Wildcats pick up conference win number 4?
NCAA Division II Community Engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student-athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student-athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student-athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Stop to make sure someone is okay. Get in the way and disrupt the situation.
Notify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us
to intervene.
Because we can. Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
And we're back for the start of the fourth quarter from the tank. The Wildcats lead the Dolphins 45-31. Dolphins are going to need a late surge to come from behind in this game. And that shot, no good from the corner by Caitlin Matz, the start the Dolphins were looking for. And that is not what the Dolphins were looking for, as Johnson threw that one away. She was looking for Rose, who was open, cutting to the rim. Dolphins will look to press here. This helped them get back in the game last weekend against Adelphi. Open shooter there was Claire Pickett. Declined to shoot the three. Instead, Borski is wide open, and that is not the shooter that you want to leave all alone if you're the Dolphins. And Borski now 3 of 6 officially from downtown. Rose for Johnson. 12 on the shot clock. This is Lambert. Now Masinge. Phelan. 5 on the shot clock. 2 on the shot clock. Lambert got it off, and she puts it in.
Ashley Lambert for 2.
That's a basket the Dolphins had to have after utilizing the entire shot clock. Once again, the Wildcats look to exploit the press. Rebound to Ivy. And Daemen will reset. Feed inside. And Pickett wanted a whistle, didn't get one. Shot no good. Here comes Johnson. Lambert left open for 3. No good. That's a shot the Dolphins needed. They haven't had many open looks from three-point range. They've only attempted 13 threes, and only 3 of those have gone down, as that's an air ball by Ivy. A rare miscue for her at the offensive end. Johnson surveys the floor here. Rose, right back to Johnson. Lambert. Bounce pass for Phelan. Thought about a deep 3. Once again, 5 to shoot. Masinge throws one up. No good. And that's going to be Dolphins basketball. We'll stay right here. .7:29 remaining in the game. 1 on the shot clock here. And that's a turnover. Here comes Borski. And she is fouled. Count the basket. And the Dolphins now trail by 17 as Paige Borski finishes through the contact. Strong finish by Borski, showing she's more than just an outside shooter. Goes right at Kyra Rose and is able to put that shot in. Here's a second look. That's a hard foul. And Borski buries the free throw. 18-point Daemen lead. We approach 7 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Lambert can't find anywhere to go with it and throws it away. Page to the rim, and there's 2 more easy points.
Alana Page for 2.
Dolphins now with 3 turnovers in the quarter. Phelan thought about a 3. Kicks out to Lambert. Lambert picks up her dribble and finds Alarcon. Inside to Moore. Moore back to Alarcon. Once again, the shot clock down to 5. And Alarcon is rejected by Pickett. And a foul's called against the Dolphins. This 20-point lead, the largest of the game for the Wildcats. They now have 22 points off of Staten Island turnovers. They're also outscoring the Dolphins 28-14 in the paint. They really haven't given CSI any breathing room anywhere on the floor when the Dolphins have been at the offensive end. They've just had nothing. Stifling defense by Daemen in this game as Borski short on the jumper. Foul called underneath goes against the Wildcats. Clock winds down towards 6 minutes to play. LaFaro has Alarcon. Alarcon, open more in the corner, short. And that's swatted out of bounds by Page. More up top for Esposito. Lambert given no room by Ivy in the corner, and Moore was fouled. .5:43 remaining in this game, and for the Wildcats, no need to foul. That's really the lone path back into this thing right now for Staten Island. 3-pointers and free throws. And they'll need those in bunches. This is Esposito inside for Alarcon. Alarcon to the basket, and that wild shot, no good. But Alarcon is able to take it back. Esposito's open, and she's too strong on the jumper. In terms of shot attempts, the two teams are about equal. Dolphins sitting at 46 attempts from the field. The Wildcats with now 49. The difference has been the shooting. Shooting and the turnovers. Wildcats shooting up above 42%. The Dolphins just 24% from the field. As the timeout is called by the Dolphins.
Timeout, Dolphins.
And even 5 minutes remaining in this one. So we'll step aside and take a quick break. With 5 minutes on the clock in the final quarter, the Dolphins trail by 22. Wildcats lead it 55-33.
My dad was a soccer coach and bought this little book bag. I could sit in the book bag, like facing backwards and with like my legs out. So I'd be in his book bag when my dad coaches and the ball's going around. I'm like kicking at the ball in the back. And my dad was like, "We have a prodigy." So he put me into soccer and it just progressed from there. The catalyst was the opportunity to play soccer at a Division II school. On my team, I thrive to work as hard as I can. I mean, whatever you do on the field, there's a positive correlation to whatever else you do, be it personal relationships, homework, the way you carry yourself. I've changed since I got to King University. It's really helped me to develop as a leader. I think it's honestly the best thing that's ever happened.
And we are back from the College of Staten Island. We will have one final break at the next whistle, which is right now. So I was told we'd have another stoppage, and we will, for immediate timeout. So that Dolphins timeout was called with an even 5 minutes remaining. We are now inside of 5 minutes, and we'll head to another quick break. When we come back, the final 4:51 in this fourth quarter.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can. And then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves. Our vision, our heart, our drive to achieve every goal we aim for because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
And we are back from our final break of the evening in this women's basketball contest. Out of the media timeout, the Dolphins registered a quick 2. Brianna Moore gets on the board with 2 points. Dolphins back to within 20. As we have a whistle and a foul called. Third team foul against Staten Island. Dolphins with just 35 points in this game. 4:19 remaining in the fourth quarter. That foul does send Caitlin Matz to the line for 2 shots, and she hits the first. Second free throw on its way, and that's no good. Rebound taken in by Ivy once again. Ivy's had a very nice game for the Wildcats tonight. 8 to shoot. And there's an easy 2 for Claire Pickett.
Claire Pickett for 2.
3-point trip down the floor for Daemen. They now lead by 23. This is Moore up top, over to Lambert. And Lambert will try the 3, no good. Esposito hustling after that rebound, couldn't get there. Kyra Rose and Amaya Jenkins will check in. Alarcon and Esposito out. This is Page. Now McDuffie, as the Wildcats still have some starters out there. Dolphins with just 1 starter on the floor. That's Lambert. And Rose able to come away with that steal off the tip. She tipped it over to LaFaro. LaFaro looks to drive and draws a foul. Taking a look at some of the statistical leaders in this game on the side of Daemen. Paige Jaborski leads the way with 14 points, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. Michaela Ivy had 12 points, 6 rebounds. Both of them still in the game with a chance to improve upon those stat lines. For Lizzie LaFaro, that free throw. Her second point of the night. That last one gives her 3. Three minutes to play, fourth quarter. Ivy on the quick turnaround, and she now has 14. That ties Ivy for the team lead in scoring. Dolphins led in points by Jenelise Alarcon right now. She has 7. Shot just 2 of 8 from the floor. I would presume her night is done. And that's a blocking foul. Alina Estrella will head onto the floor off of the Daemen bench, and that will likely be the end for Paige Jaborski.
Timeout, Dolphins.
And the Dolphins have called timeout. So down by 23 with 2:38 on the clock. Dolphins will take this opportunity to diagram a play out of a full timeout. So with that, we head to break. Once again, our score, Daemen 60, Staten Island 37.
Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
And we are back from the tank where the Dolphins trail 60-37. Of course, this is game one of our two-game East Coast Conference doubleheader. Coming up next, the men of CSI take on the men of Daemen University. So be sure to stay tuned here on CSI Sportsnet for that. Pre-game show gets underway at about 7:15 p.m., though it looks like this game may run a bit later than expected. So I think we're looking at closer to a 7:40 start for the men's game, as that was tipped and stolen by Daemen. Alana Page remains in there for the Wildcats, along with 4 reserves, as a travel is called. Two teams exchange turnovers, and the Dolphins will have it with 2:20 remaining. Jenkins looking for somewhere to go with it, gets it to Lambert. Now Rose, jab step. She looks to drive. Nice move to free some space, and she banks it in.
Kyra Rose for 2.
Nice move there from Kyra Rose. Rose now leads the Dolphins with 8 points. And there's an easy 2 for Merkel.
Marina Merkel for 2.
A lot of easy baskets in the paint tonight for Daemen. Not so for the Dolphins. Rose will look to drive again. And she threw it away. Dana Phelan will check in for the Dolphins, and Maddie Stearns will check in for the Wildcats. That ends Alana Page's night. She had a good game for Daemen. 9 points in the game, many of those coming early, but she also had 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 steals in 29 minutes. There's a nice no-look pass, and another easy 2 for Merkel. Julia Hauer with a flashy assist on that basket. No-look dime. As Rose can't finish the layup, bodies colliding inside, and Rose went down hard there. Got her hand trapped on the ball and was yanked down to the floor. A foul was called as Rose is still holding that left elbow. And you could hear the sound that elbow made when contacting the floor. That was some thud. First free throw is good for Rose. Gina Fumarelli checked into the game at that last horn as well, as the Wildcats continue to empty their bench. There's an offensive rebound for Dana Phelan. Lambert, mid-range pull-up is too strong. She grabs her own miss, floats it up, and in.
Ashley Lambert for 2.
That basket for Lambert, just her second of the night. She's now 2 of 9 from the floor, shot 0 of 6 from downtown. Hauer inside, it was stripped away from Fumarelli. Jenkins has Lambert, open 3, and that's good.
Ashley Lambert for 3.
Lambert buries her first 3 of the night with just inside of 20 seconds remaining in the game, and that should do it. We'll see if the Wildcats look to score. They just might, and instead they turn it over. So the Dolphins have 7 seconds on the clock. Jenkins, pull up 3, No good. And a late rebound from Maddie Stearns will bring this game to a close. Our final score, Daemen University 64, the College of Staten Island 45. For the Wildcats, they improved to 9-2 on the season. The Dolphins will fall to 5-9. CSI now 1-3 against the ECC. And Daemen is now 4-1 in conference play. As I mentioned before, coming up next will be men's basketball, as these same two teams will go at it on the men's side. Dolphins and Wildcats coverage of Game 2 coming up next here on CSI Sportsnet, a proud part of the ECC Network.